off to the races. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, this thing, one of these may be a limiter on why it's not showing up here with some puts. But I mean, yeah, there it goes. It was the drop in percent. So right now they're saying the 19s are paying 40%. I was doing 1750s, a little extra juicy.
Yeah. But another classic example, I like this one too. I think I did the 1850s on this. I'm going to do them again.
And this is one of those like you get put, great. You don't get put, you just
Yeah.
make the money.
Just need the stock and a little cash to start creating cash flow.
Another one I just added to my retirement account. I don't really share that much of anywhere, but I just added some 70, what was it, 77s, I think it was for. I didn't even play down at 69. I actually went closer to the money here on Hood. No,
I,
no, it's 67s. I played 67s. Yeah.
I did 69s today, this morning. I sold the 69 for 227 expiration for 57 cents.
That's healthy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's super healthy. Now with this, there's just a couple things going on. This is going to be a little more news driven. They're definitely going to, I believe, close out their private capital offering for unlisted shares. And so that's going to be a big deal. Goldman Sachs is underwriting that. I'm sure you heard the news on that. So uh, they're going to bring in a ton of money from this thing. And technically, maybe, as you say, it's hit a bottom. But I'm good with it either way. The number one rule with the wheel is sell a put on a stock you wouldn't mind owning. And I would not mind owning, and I already own this.
yeah, I mean, I'm, I was staying away from it for a while. Now I'm getting on it right in here. And if we get another dip, I'll probably load up on some shares. Otherwise, I'm just keep going after this bottom right here with some premium. And looks nice to me. So
It looks good to me too. You know, one other thing about that private fund that they have, they've got Databricks in there. I don't know that they have any SpaceX, but I applied. If you have an account at Robinhood, you can apply for this IPO, and it's priced at $25 a share, and it's supposed to be trading, I think, the 25th or 26th. So we'll see how that goes. But that's direct access to the private market in Databricks. There's probably six or seven companies in there.
yeah, I've seen it. They actually did I saw they had I don't know if it was a live webcast or pre-recorded webcast they put out last night to look at that. Yeah, I'm just playing 1 week out on Hood right here. So,
Yeah, me too. 227, 69 puts. I
so
did a
if you want to
couple
play this, if you want
seven.
to play the 67, a little bit lighter on the return, if you want to get that 40%, it's right here on the chart right now, 69s, right in the right at the 40%.
Why is that 40% important to us? You asked me that question. I'll ask.
So the 40%'s repeatable. I feel like so there's if you go higher than 40% and it's not just us either that says this. Even the people that put together this software, I don't have any influence to them or anything like that. But when you go in here and you look, let me try to pull it up 1 week out here, grab Hood, and you look at these numbers, they color these red. It's kind of too little premium down here, and it's dancing around a little bit. Too little premium. That 70 is coming in right now at 37 for the next week. That I guess it says March 6th out here for 69 for 38%. But then yellow or orange, and it colors orange all the way up in here, like danger. That's getting to be too much ROI. Now, why is it yellow? It's telling you that there's danger in going after that more aggressive price action.
Caution.
Caution, yeah. So going after the green, right around 40% ROI. It's repeatable. You can do that over and over. If you're going after the red, you're kind of getting paid too little right there. If
for
you're
your
going after the orange, you're kind of getting you're going after fat premium, and your risk of getting put and maybe ending up upside down in the position is a little higher. Somewhere around this 40%, you can just keep selling premium. You occasionally get put. The goal is to only get put like 10 or 15% of the time. I think for the people that design this, if you listen to their spiel, and sometimes I get put, sometimes I don't, but I tend to go after that 40%. And because it's so repeatable, I can turn that around and use it in my 50K challenge here and go after a repeatable income. After I build this account up to about 1.6 million, if I'm going after that 40%, that's $50,000 a month on a $1.6 million bankroll, which is not that crazy, really. It sounds big if you're just starting out, but if you've been trading a while, 1.6 is not that big. I mean, if 30 years ago, my grandpa had $1 million account as a retired Air Force colonel, and these, with the inflation and everything these days, that'd probably be like a $4 or $5 million account. And he didn't even think he had that much, really that big of an account. So,
that was
um,
back then.
and he did great. So, and all he did was just buy and hold and drip and reinvest the dividends. I mean, that's basically his strategy. He didn't even go after selling calls or selling premium. So he just went after dividends, nice solid dividends and solid companies and just reinvested the dividends. And it compounds. And if you take and go after companies that pay dividends, but also use it and sell puts and calls, you just juice it up. Yeah, it's Marcus's stuff. It's PowerX Optimizer. Jack and I use it. It's kind of the best wheel software there is right
Yeah.
there.
There's another one out there. I think it's optionswheelstrategies.ai. They've been making quite a bit of upgrades to their software as well. I don't think it's really the cost of this one. But
But
you know,
when we talk about repeatable, this is repeatable to me. Be able
yeah,
to do this every, basically come at the market every day and make a little bit of money in the account.
every day. Haven't had a day where I haven't been able to pull out some decent cash. But I want to talk to you and have you tell the folks about, again, talking about just all you need is one stock to create cash flow, and you don't even really need to own that stock. So tell them about how many times maybe you did it in TSLL. You did a whole trade without ever having the stock put to you. I find that fascinating. Uh,
Yeah, so
that's
jumping.
let's just tell them all how that happened, and that just blows my mind. How many trades did you do, and you collected cash every time you did a trade? Because when we're selling options, whether it's puts or calls, we're getting paid up front. And in his
So
case, he sold puts over and over again and never had it put to him.
so this account right here, this Tasty SEP IRA account, I started chasing after TSL when it popped up in September there, and I sold an 18 put, sold three of them, collected money, and then I just kept going after it. In the beginning, I was just closing them, and then I'd reevaluate for a new position. Then I started rolling them, and you can see the roll numbers over here. These numbers aren't necessarily perfectly accurate on the, exit. It wasn't necessarily a penny every time, but the roll numbers here are accurate. And you can see right here, after doing this for, gosh, this goes on and on and on all the way up until last week when I got put. Right there, 67 times, 67 trades I did. Rolling credit. I brought in 3,914 bucks in premium here using $7,950 of buying power.
That's the fascinating part to me. That's how do you use a stock to create endless cash flow? That's it right there. Now you'll notice too, guys and gals, when he initiates the trade, he's getting maybe 40 to 50 cents to sell the initial put, right? So that's 50 bucks every time or 40 bucks every time. But then as it goes down in value to around a penny or so, you see he can buy that back and then resell it again that same day for another week. That's really highly efficient use of capital. So here's a wheel strategy that's just doing the very first part, which is not really wheeling, just selling that put, right?
We
Now
were just, yeah, I was
the
just rolling that premium forward. And, as we talk about on on this piece right here, if you're brand new, welcome to the show. We're talking about the wheel strategy here, but I was just selling a put on a stock I wanted to own shares on right there. And then I was closing that put for profit and going back to step one. And I was just doing this over and over and over for September, October, November, December, January, February, for like 6 months, just on that one position right there. And
classic.
then last week I got put and I moved on to step 3A, selling calls. So, but it was 6 months before I ever got put the shares to move on to the next step.
And when
So you
you
don't,
net the whole thing out, he's looking at 7,900 bucks, and the revenue is divide that by the premium he's brought in. It's almost 50% or more return on that $7,900.
yeah, when I can pull over the calculator here and
Just is amazing how to make 50% a year without ever touching a stock.
let me roll back up here so we can see the actual numbers. So I have 3,914 bucks of premium brought in using $7,950 of buying power, which, some people worry about that. Oh man, it's locking up that $8,000 in my account. Yeah, but every time I brought in premium, that cash goes back to my balance. They keep reserving that 7,950, but I've put 3,914 back on the balance that I can use for other trades or other things or make this trade bigger. But I didn't. I, did other things. So you divide this out, and the return right now, 49.23% in 6 months. That's actually running richer than the 40% we go through annualized.
That's
And
close to 100.
that's getting close to 100% annualized. That's it's pretty fat.
The other point I want to bring up here before I forget is, and we talked about this a couple times, is sometimes you want to hit it and quit it. You sell a put, you don't get the stock put to you, and you just move on and find another opportunity. Then there's other times where you're going to, what I call, go back to the well. And one of the big advantages I think of going back to the well is, again, with your TSLL trades, once you collected all this premium, 66 times you collect premium, and then one time you get it put to you, and you take that price you had it put to you and you subtract all that premium, and your cost basis on the stock that's 15 bucks is what, 10 bucks?
Yeah, yeah. My cost basis on that position right now is sitting at 1057.
Yeah, that's why I like to go back to the well all the time because you really can push that thing down and set yourself. You already made 50%. And you now you're setting yourself up and you've got a massive unrealized gain.
Yeah, and I'm starting this up again on iBit right here. Since we have the new 3 times a week options, I've been playing with this a little bit. And I've got one, you know, maybe TSLL is not your bag. Maybe, of course, Bitcoin may not be your bag either. But I do like to go after ones that have a higher premium that can pay well.
Mhm.
I did this one for 5 days to begin with because it didn't have, Monday the market was closed, so we didn't have an options expiration Monday. So I actually, last week on Friday, I went in for Wednesday, got paid 37 cents. That one actually expired for 0 on Wednesday. Thursday, I came in and did the next day for 10 cents. Then today, I just rolled that out. Like I did this trade yesterday for 10 cents. Today, closed it for a penny and rolled it into next Monday for 18 more cents. So I'm already got $100, 128 premium collected on these two options and using about 7,300 bucks. Realized 92 bucks profit already just in a week.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna see if rolling these more frequently, like we were talking about, can actually generate a higher payout on iBit right
Now,
there.
so far for me, it has on AVGO, but it has not on NVIDIA. It is just so weird. that you can go 2 days out or a day out on AVGO and get, 2 day, a day to 2 days out expiration or even same day and be far out of the money on a cash secured put or a call, which I would have covered. But I can't get any cheese on Nvidia. But today it's looking like it's ramping up. I think there's going to be some real good action in Nvidia coming up. They got earnings next week, and what I'm seeing in the stock today and yesterday makes me think it's getting hot in the hot tub.
Now, it's not always every week necessarily. Like last week when I got put the TSLL in this account, I went ahead and jumped out a month. Roll down here. Actually jumped out a month on the sold calls. We sold them right here during the show.
I did
And
the same thing because I wanted $20.
yeah, I wanted that 20 strike, and a month out is where it really was paying the premium.
That's so funny you say that. Uh, yeah, I gotta find mine.
And it's like why, it's so there's no like everybody's like, I want to know the exact way you do it every week. It's a flexible thing. You got
Mm,
to be flexible. You got to go where the money is. It's not always the same week to week. It's not always the same day to day. The market moves around, things move around, premium increases, premium decreases, IV changes. There's, it's a different while trading can be simple, it's not always easy.
yeah,
You're just in at the end of the story, I mean, at the end of the day, you're just trying to get some money. But how you get there, it's a choose your own adventure. So that's everyone wants to everyone wants to put less work into it. Everyone wants the holy grail where you don't do anything but you get paid. And that's just not the reality of the stock market. It
no,
does reward people that work harder,
yep.
just like everything else in life.
Every day I hunt, I look for a new opportunity in either something that I've already sold that I could buy back at a lower price and roll it out. I do that every day, and that's just a function of the market. You could get a great opportunity to buy something back cheap and roll it out. And I look for new opportunity and new stock. I just did some new puts on LRCX. And just always every day trying to find it. And like I say, there hasn't been a day go by that I haven't been able to bring in some good premium every single day.
Now, and one thing, golly, got some gravel on my throat here. Um, I've talked about on the show before, Red Hat, and I'll have to see if I can pull up a chart for it. Red Hat is no longer a stock with us. It is a stock of yesteryear. It was a .com darling. It went public during the .com era. And let's see if I can get all time here.
That is bringing back some crazy memories. That thing was hot, hot, hot at one point, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really hot in the .com era. And of course, my web browser going to freak out here. Hopefully, it doesn't dump me off of the webinar. Something crashed. Not sure what.
I saw the question about can you do this with $8,000 account? Yeah, you could do this with less 1,000 if you find the $10 stock and you want to sell a put against that at a lower price. So you can get started at any price. Start where you are. That's the main thing. Just get started.
All right, let's see if I'm back now.
Wow, that's crazy. How long ago was this?
So let's see if I can actually pull this up here. Red Hat, I got in a number of years ago, and let's see. Come on, load up here. Quit messing with me. This was all the way back in the .com bust. So we're talking about it went public like 2001,
Hmm.
99, 2001, somewhere in there. My memory's a little fuzzy. I mean, this is getting to be like, 26, 28 years ago. And crap. Ooh.
I'm surprised you can even find a chart on that thing.
Yeah, my computer is like trying to crack. right.
And we might have lost him.
All right, I think I'm back.
Is that your jet?
No, that's just a cool airplane I found. My computer does not like that chart.
Too old. It's making your computer sick looking at something that old.
It crashed out Zoom twice apparently. And let's see if I can.
I think you could paint a good verbal picture just by telling them how bad that thing ended up for so
Yeah,
long.
so it IPO'd, I don't know, 30, $40, ran up to like $300, did a 2-for-1 split, went back down to 120-ish bucks on the split, and then it dropped all the way to $3 on the .com bust. I picked it up around $3.50 in one account. I picked it up for $5.50, I think, in my account, like 100 shares. I put traditional IRA. I'm a teenager at that point. Just just coming out of my teens, getting to be 20, I think, and put like 500 or 600 bucks in a traditional IRA to try to not pay tax that year. And I needed something to buy. So I went ahead and bought Red Hat, and I bought 100 shares because everybody told me, you know, buy 100 shares, right? And that's how this is how you make money. You buy 100 shares, and I was trying to share my screen. See if it'll do it. Man, this thing is freaking out. My whole computer might crash while I'm on. There we go. So I bought those 100 shares. Cost me like 550 bucks. Now, at the time, I didn't know anything about selling premium. I didn't know anything about selling puts. There was no YouTube back then. There was no, how to trade. Everybody wanted to charge you like thousands of dollars for a course back then. I don't know if you remember those days, Jack.
I do.
Um,
Started
they,
in 1997 selling courses.
so everybody wanted to charge you thousands of dollars. I didn't have thousands of dollars. I had, hundreds of dollars. And there was no like, there's no like Investopedia. There's no like brokers didn't have just like this comprehensive education at the time. It it was difficult to learn anything about options. But some way, somehow I figured out about selling covered calls and I started doing it on Red Hat. And it wouldn't, it's probably a year or so after I first bought the shares. And I went after it for 18 years between the time, I learned to do that and when right around the year 2018 when IBM bought out Red Hat for $190 a share. So, right there I had bought in at $5, sold out 190 bucks. Well, that right there is like $19,000 profit, right? Beautiful. But the account balance, when I didn't have any other real big capital to buy other positions and stuff like that. This is like the only trade I did in that account. I always kept the cash off the calls to just in case I needed to buy one back and not get called away. So after all those years of selling covered calls and IBM buying it out and putting $19,000 in my account, the actual account balance was $26,000. So where'd the other $7,000 come from? It came from selling those calls on that 100 shares of Red Hat,
For
and that
18 years.
for 18 years. So I turned 500 bucks into 26,000 bucks, and I just needed one stock. There was no, um, no other aggressive thing. Now you may be sitting there going, well, I don't have 18 years to turn 500 bucks into 26,000. I need my money faster. I need this, that, and the other. Well, I've learned things along the way, and I'm here to share it with you about the selling the puts and going for the 40% ROI and all those sort of things. That all has helped boost it up and make it more efficient. And the whole reason I'm working with Jack is to try to cut out all that. I was searching around basically in the desert alone with no guide, nobody helping me learn this stuff except me. and I figured it out, but it took me a long time. And now I partner with Jack here, and we have the same kind of vision and experience to help people cut out all that extra work. So you don't really need, Red Hat may be the better example of that. You don't really need a whole stable of stocks. You don't really need 10 positions.
That's
You
what
just
I
need,
was, that's
and
what I
Red,
was calling this today was just you need just one stock to unlock unlimited cash flow. But you also need something else, perseverance and persistence. Because the only way to screw this up would have been for you to quit doing it.
yeah. And, I mean, at the point where I was, negative $70 in cost basis, I don't think there was any way I could mess it up. But, you know, it just takes one stock and you just have to, have patience, discipline, and just keep going at it. The perseverance. It's just, you
Don't
know,
quit.
love the one you got.
And if I was going to start right now with just one, we get asked that a lot. I just got to say that, I do Hood, NVIDIA, Rocket Lab, ANET, Broadcom, McDonald's, Altria, ASTS. I do so many. But if I was going to do one, yeah, Hood would be a really good place to start if you've got, you want to get in there for around 8 grand, 7 grand.
Yeah, 7 grand. I mean,
That's a good one. If you wanted another one, TSLL. It's been continuing to pay out. And I think it's in prime spot right now.
I don't think that it's broken. A couple of people, it did mess up my rocket ship pattern, and it's not as like the immediate bullishness is kind of worn off a little bit, but that's okay because what's actually paid us is this 6 months of sideways.
Yeah. So nutty. Look at the 6 months of sideways on Nvidia too. That just is killing me.
And that one's
So
got long. That one's a little bit longer than 6 months of sideways.
telling you, man. I'm telling you. So, I tell everybody the truth here is that I bought a large position in Nvidia, and I had margined a good part of that, uh, a real good part of that, and it was all fine and dandy while it was riding up. But once it hit that 180, it just it wasn't worth holding what I had on margin because it wasn't going up and margin I'm paying every day. So the bottom line with margin is if it's 10% a year, and you're doing 12, you're fine. But you don't want to be financing something that is not appreciating faster than the margin rate. So that's when I bailed on a big piece of the position. Now, the other piece is just constant cash flow. I still have been selling puts against this thing deep out of the money. I've been using it for credit spreads like gangbusters and selling calls on it just constantly, constantly, constantly.
Now it does have a fairly high beta, but it's not nearly as high as TSLL. So that
Yeah,
means TSLL is going to pay you much higher rate for going
right.
sideways than Nvidia is.
Right, because it's more volatile with that higher beta. But this is just another classic example of how you can make 40% on a stock and it doesn't have to go up even a percent.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
thing
backwards from people's thinking.
This thing's been sitting sideways for 7 months. You could have been cash flowing it the whole way across here. As long as you aren't paying big margin bills or something like that, if you had that $18,000, almost $19,000 to buy 100 shares, you can just sit there and cash flow them. You can do that
Or
over and over and
don't
over and
buy,
over and over and over.
don't buy the stock and just cash flow it with puts.
Yeah, I mean, you can cash flow the puts. I'm just saying, like, you got to have for the way we do it, you need the cheese to back up the play. And that one's a little rich for me and my account. And that's why I don't do NVIDIA. Several people ask me, why don't you do all these Mag 7s? It's because when you look through the Mag 7 prices, Apple's going to take $26,000. Amazon's going to take $20,000. Google's going to take $31,000. Meta's going to take $65,000 just for one position, one contract. Microsoft's going to take $39,000.
That's why I hunt every day, and stock price is a big part of that. I don't. I want to deploy the capital, but it's got to fit, right? So hunting every day for a stock. Look at App at $430. That's ridiculous, right? These stocks are expensive.
Yeah, I mean that. So if you wanted to do one contract on the wheel, you're looking at $43,000. That's just not. Yes, why don't I chase after some of these bigger ones? Because I don't have the capital resources to go after that stuff.
And the
And
other thing is,
that's also why, when people tell me, "Oh, well, when you get a bigger account, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, you won't be able to do this." There's a whole world of stocks that I can start trading as I get a bigger bankroll, and I don't have to, keep going after the smaller ones. So I don't feel like it's limiting. I think the bigger you have, the bigger stocks you can go after.
yep, I think those are some of the good ones as well. I like doing those ANET, GLW, LRCX,
Yeah,
WDC, all that stuff. What about ANET right here? I got back in. Oh, look at that. Look at that sucker
pull it
go.
back up. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just it's just kind of churning right here. I mean, you could do a wheel right there at 125-ish, probably.
doing it. Let's see. I sold the 131 put.
Yeah, 11's looking like it's going to be full profit today.
Yeah. Well, that expires next. I just did it this morning. I
Oh, you
sold
did it this morning? Yeah.
31 put for $1.54. And yeah, even McDonald's.
Yeah, look at that. You can do the 129 strike for 37% ROI right there.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty crazy. How about LRCX? This could be my third baby in addition to NVIDIA and Broadcom. I'm just liking this thing.
Yeah, it's got your trend in it right there. That's for sure.
The Homer Simpson trend, buy high and sell higher, right? That's the simplest trend for my eyeballs. See, you have pattern recognition for all kind of patterns, squeeze seizes and sideways.
Yeah.
I don't. I can only identify high going higher.
Jack likes up and to the right.
It's my A-B pattern where you got the A, B, C and
Absolutely beautiful correction. Yep.
got the up 45 degree. The more 45-degree angle, higher highs and higher lows, the more I like it.
That's Jack's up and to the right pattern right there.
That's funny. Couldn't be more simple, folks. This is child's play compared to the way you do it, though. You really are a professor. You got it really dialed in, and your pattern recognition is beyond anything I've ever seen anybody do, especially picking bottoms. But, for just a not very smart guy like myself, this is the smartest approach I can have on the market.
And you can pull all sorts of lists every day. You can go watch all sorts of gurus talk about all sorts of stuff. XYZ is going up, XYZ is going down. This is not. Jack and I cut out a lot of that for you, and we talk about ones that are attainable and doable for people like you until you can get your feet under you. So, I mean, unless you just can't hang out with us for some reason, yeah, we have no plans to end this show. We're going to keep doing it for this foreseeable future at this point. So just keep coming back. Ask us for the next hot thing that we're looking at. Jack and I are all over the market. I tend to go after some lower price stuff. Jack has a little bit bigger bankroll. He's been in this game a little longer than I have. This is next month is my 5th year being in the guru game, teaching people how to do this stuff.
That's cool,
I've
man.
traded for a long, 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 long time, but I just traded for me and my family. I didn't trade for other people. I didn't teach other people how to do this. So I got a ton of knowledge. I know a ton of things that don't work. I know a few things that do work and work consistently. And that's what I'm trying to show everybody. And that's why, Jack partnered with me is because I'm just no nonsense and just want to help people make some money.
Hmm. Jody says soon Jack will learn to read the charts.
Okay.
Nope. I
He
only
didn't
know.
want to. He just wants his up and to the right pattern.
The other thing is, Jody, I got him doing all the heavy lifting. All I got to do is show up like you, right? I mean, honestly, he turned me on to TSLL. I never even heard of it before. And I think that was in October. And I'm like, dang, I've been missing out. So I started in October and I showed you what I've done since then. And been laying on it hot and heavy, loving it. It's been the biggest earner. If you look at stocks as employees or whatever, the biggest earner I have is this by a long shot. So yeah, and he reads the charts and I pull the triggers.
And
I've
it's
got a
like
lot of great ideas.
I was going after iBit with Jack. This was Jack's favorite before I introduced him to TSLL because it just there wasn't another one paying quite like this.
Mhm. I
And when we did this pattern right here back in October, I got really nervous. And I think I was pretty clear to you, Jack, that I got really nervous about it, that I thought a big down was coming. And well, we can see a big down did come. But with this price action right in here, I'm kind of feeling that the big down is, kind of done. At least we're probably going to get a rest for a little bit, kind of like we did right here. And I played it right in here. I played it, and then I got spooked again when we did this little pop. I was like, uh-oh, we have a setup for another big drop. And then we came down here and consolidated and I actually put on a short, which I don't do very often. Jack doesn't do very often. We both shorted it in here, caught some of this drop, and then now I'm back to selling some premium again down here at the 36s and 37s.
Yeah, you convinced me back there. I went from about 1,000 shares to 100 shares, and I'm cool with 100 shares. That's nothing. You can still cash flow it no matter what happens. You could still sell calls against it no matter how low it goes.
Yeah, I mean, like you can deal with 100 shares dropping $10. 1,000 shares dropping $10 is that gets to be like, oh man, it kind of turns your stomach a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
so that was a great piece of advice. You've turned me on to a lot of them. What else did we do? We did Levi together. I'd never thought I'd trade Levi's.
and I just want to show everybody, like I'm going after that IBIT right here, 36.50 put Monday morning or Monday afternoon, I guess. $18 I got paid right there.
Nice.
And then, Levi's, I hit that one and quit it. That you talk about one that I hit and quit. I went after this one time and maybe I should have kept going, but I went after it one time on the earnings right there. And then I didn't like the way it dropped. I was down at like 18 with my put. We dropped into that 19 area. I was just like, not feeling as confident on it, but now it's starting to look good again, relatively. Has
Here's
a beta,
another, yep,
has a nice beta.
another trade idea for 2 grand, right? You got 10 grand. You got 5 ideas. You put, 5% in each one. Keep a little dry powder. You can get 5 ideas showing up here every day.
Yeah, we go through all different ones we're doing. Yeah, I did finally get called out of Gap. I was on Gap for months and months and months. I'll pull this one back up. This one, and when I first pulled this up here in June or July, Jack was like, "My gosh, man, what are you doing?"
Going,
And he's
staying
like,
up late at night. This is no good.
"Yeah," he was like, "Yeah, your gap will probably fill on Gap eventually, but how long you willing to stay with this?" And then I told him the Red Hat story, and but I was picking it up, and the last time I bought it was back here in August at 20, and then I started selling upside calls, and I was selling. I actually got called out at 29 like last week, right up there on that spike, and I'm not getting back in it again. It
No,
has potential to pop on up to like 36, but I made the money. I got in at 20. I had 500 shares. I had like a negative $5 cost basis. So I was actually probably down here around 15 and I got called out to 29.
awesome.
That was a pretty good trade.
Now, one thing you can read in a chart, pretty much anybody can, is when you get a gap down like you have there right above the P, it's gapped down. And whenever I see that, I think prices are going to trade and fill in that gap going forward. Right there. Yep.
And that's
That's
exactly what we've done.
something you pretty much take to the bank. Whenever you see a gap, either way, it's going to get filled in the future.
And, is there a better time of the day? What time do you have to trade? That's the best time to trade.
Yep.
The time you can sit here, give it a few minutes, get your head about you, clear your head, not be worried about kids or grandkids or, what you're going to eat for dinner. If you can just have a clear head, take a few minutes out of your day, That's the best time to trade.
But any time of day. Yesterday, I didn't think there was anything going on, and I sat here and focused for a couple hours and pulled in another 4-digit day. So it's out
Nice.
there. You just got to find it. It's out there. You can hunt every single day. But start with one stock that's in your range of money and start off with selling a cash secured put.
Will, how long does it take you to pull up a chart and make a decision on a trade? That's your few minutes. If that's 2 hours for you, it's 2 hours. If you practice and get good at it and it's down to 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes. So how do you figure out which put to sell? The one that gets you 40% ROI.
On the stock you want.
And we have we use a tool like this that helps cut out the work on that. Like Robinhood, you can just type it in here and it shows you. But if you don't have a tool like this tool is not cheap. It does cost about 2 grand. I can throw the link in the description if anybody wants it, or I can throw the link in the chat. But if you don't have that, the old manual way to do it is right here with the prices. It's relatively easy. But it does take a few minutes. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy, just super easy. I mean, it's not hard, but and Jack, you've got like an Excel sheet you plug numbers into, but it still takes a few minutes because you got to go pull each one, you got to check it. But you just take the price that you can get filled at 90, like a dollar right here, $101, $7,000. So pop up your calculator, get paid $101. It's going to take $7,000 to do it. Divide it 101 by divide the credit by the amount of cash it's going to take in your account. That's 1.4% return. Now, Jack and I like to annualize this because if you could do it all year long and get 40%, that's 1.4% for 7 days. So how do you annualize it? You divide by the number of days, 7 in this case. That's 0.2% per day. And then you multiply by the year. Boom. So that 71 is paying 75% ROI right there.
Now, what you did right there is why people don't want to do it because doing that math longhand is an obstacle, which is, I like the don't make me think approach we can get out of the PXO. That's why it's worth 2 grand to me because I don't want to get brain dead doing it like that 20 times a day. If you're doing 25 trades a day, you can't do that, man. You'll be
So
burned out.
this takes a while. Like it takes a few minutes because what's that strike? What's the 70 pan? This is the 71. Well, you don't know what the 70's paying. You don't know what the 72's paying. So you got to go check. It's like, oh, that's a little richer than I wanted to be. And, for a week out, you can kind of figure out it's roughly 0.8% for a week, gets you 40% ROI. But where's 0.8%? If you don't have a math brain, you can't look at the option chain and kind of know, it gets to be tough. It's actually somewhere right in that 69, like the PXO shows. It's right in the 69 because usually somewhere right around 0.8% is just under, put a decimal in front of the numbers, 69 right there, 69, that's roughly 1% for the week. And when you divide that out, it gets you close to 40% annualized when it's a week. But if you're looking at longer term, you're looking at 2 weeks. What's the number there? Well, I don't have that just memorized. I had the 1 week out because I used to do these 1 week out all the time.
I used
It's
to
just
do
a
about
just a
two.
little shortcut. So if you actually jump down here to the 69, and we did this exercise, 61, review and send, $61, 6,840. See, this is gonna be closer. 61 divided by 6,840. You just take the credit line divided by how much capital they're gonna require. 6,840. Right there, that 0.8, and right there, divided by 7 times 365, and boom, right in the 40 zone.
Mhm. Now, the only thing with Hood is if we are lucky enough, I already own some, but if we're lucky enough to get it put to us at wherever we are, I'm at 69. Uh, and if anybody else goes into this trade with us and then we ended up selling calls, you can't be crying when this thing gets way above the price we sold the calls at, because that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably going to go on a rip. We may come in here and sell these upside calls, at 40%, like an 84 or something like that, and then boom, it
Damn.
jumps to 100.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah,
you're
that just
like, dadgummit, you guys just like you limited me at 84 and it went to 100. I missed out on $16 profit per share.
yeah. You don't know
People get
what
upset at that all the time.
that happened to me on Vert. I sold the 220 call and what it went to 250 or something before it backed off. Yeah, I mean, that's that's rookies talking, I know. Yeah, I don't mind getting called out. I mean, I don't like looking at it when I get called out and my strike is $20 below the market price, but you can't cry about that because you're still making money and that's why we're doing it.
And here's my link to for you there, Mark, if you're interested in my Diamond Club. I actually call it Termite Trading Lab. We work as a team. I actually run a community. A lot of the other gurus just have like you access all their products, but I actually bring you in as a community member, and we work as a team, and you get to talk to everybody that's a Diamond Club member.
And you get to come and meet us in person in Jacksonville next year.
Yep. And, and I'm gonna have a meetup in June. They just confirmed, Jack. So you're
Looking,
invited if you want to come, but you don't have to come.
if you come and get me, I'll come.
I can't come get you. That's way too far. You said you weren't going to ride in my airplane either.
Send the fire truck down to get me. And if it's
Send the
south,
truck.
I'll give you my address. Send the truck down. I'll just get in the truck.
So anyway,
What part of Colorado are you in?
there
These
you go.
guys
You,
are to see you.
you hitch a ride with DLC.
Oh, that's pretty there, man. Yeah, I get to ride in the truck with the still. I would never make it back. I was flipping on Shine the whole way back from Jacksonville. I drove right past my exit. 6 hours, 6 hours of sipping on Shine.
Oh man, goodness gracious, Jack.
I did. That's good stuff. Once you get a few sips down, it's not so harsh.
I don't think it's harsh at all.
Well, that's because they put it in your baby bottle when you're from Kentucky, right?
It's good stuff right there, man.
Now, do you have a time of the day where you don't do it before a certain time of day, or just wake up and get right on it? Get
I
your shit.
see. This is the they actually talked about this on Moonshiners this week, the actual show. I watched that just because those guys just live up the road from me. And it's kind of fun to watch. But yeah, they were talking about this week on the show. Is like moonshiners. Everybody thinks that they drink a lot, but if you drink a lot of your product, you don't end up making any money. So
Yeah,
we actually don't imbibe as much as somebody might think.
the jar of that go for on the street.
Yeah, it's worth it. Put it that way.
20 bucks a jar?
Yeah, I usually go for about 20, but it's kind of like picking up 20s in the street.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I'd like to learn how to make it.
That's not too difficult.
Yeah. Whip me up a little still and ship it down here. Do you make stills? Do you
You
put
can
them?
buy them on Amazon, the craziest thing. We are way off topic though.
We are off topic.
Hey, I do earn a little cheese, but you got to watch out on their website. If it's 1995, it's probably for 1 year. If it's on their website. Now, I'm not saying it, they're not running some sort of special. I know they're trying to hook people in right now, but this is my link right there. And yeah, so I get a little cheese off it. It's 1997 on my link.
Yeah, but I'm saying too, if you're going to trade like we are, and you're doing 30 trades a day or 10 or 5, you're going to want that tracking number one, and you're going to want that where it picks the strike for you based on your ROI. That's such a beautiful feature. I can't even tell you. That's priceless.
Yeah, and I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's definitely Friday. Friday's a good day to roll, later on today, in an hour or so, once these options that are really out of the money, the time decay will start kicking in and you'll be able to buy them back for pennies on the dollar and roll them back out till next Friday.
Yeah. I don't know where you're getting it on their website. I just clicked the link on their homepage for buying PXO and it says 1997 for 1 year. My link's good for lifetime, but I mean, hey, you do you. Um, I'm just, I just jumped on their website and looked at it, and the link on their homepage says 1 year access, not lifetime access.
They just added some new features too. You can trade right through Schwab on that thing, and you don't have to type in any trades manually.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it keeps getting better. They keep introducing new versions every 2 weeks or so. So,
Amazing how many updates they've done to it.
and well, as far as the list goes, stuff I'm interested in: CSIQ, Hood, IBIT, TSLL, Jack had ANET, and what'd you have? AVGO,
Pocket Lab,
RKLB. These are
AVG.
all, yeah, AVGO, Rocket Lab. Look at that. That one's not too bad either, right there.
I love it, this, man. I'm loving this. I like that bouncing off that line. Um, and then what else I got? ASTS.
Ooh, that pulled back like I told you it was going to.
Yeah, they came out and said they're going to do like some huge offering or something to keep the ball rolling because their burn rate is really high. But this is going to come back, and I like what it's doing right here. I like these up and downs. That's where you get the good volatility. And then Vert blows my mind. If you look at the options pricing on Vert, I'm selling the 225 puts on Vert, and they're paying like just crazy. Yeah,
That Vert VRT.
$3 for the 225 put that expires next Friday. $3. Shoosh.
Yeah, VST, I think, is making a bottom too.
Let me see that Vert again. I like how you got that out there.
It's pretty high up there.
That gap I don't like. I think that's going to come back. That's too lofty.
And
So I'm 225, so I'm a little too high, but
that's a breakout right there. So if it comes back, it's likely to hold it.
yep. And
And see, this one right here kind of back tested the breakout too. You see how it popped up, bounced, came up through, came back.
yep,
They just have a habit of doing that to go before they go higher. So
those two pullbacks, I had it put to me at 175, 177.50, and 182, if you guys remember. I was just having it put to me, put to me, put to me.
so
But
and the question about NDX and beer money, I talk about it on YouTube. I talk about it here on this show. It's in the recordings, and I talk about it or I post about it on X. So, uh,
it's
and I
the
could
wheel hurt is good on the wheel.
we have a new replay page for this show. The show, it's probably they're probably not instantly posted. It said I think the conversation was they get posted 2 or 3 hours later. But here's the page where you can find our replays for the show moving forward right here. And so they get downloaded from Zoom, and then automation posts them to that page